Imagine standing at the edge of a tall building. You look down. Your legs suddenly feel weak. Your heart starts beating faster. Your palms become sweaty. Even though there is a strong railing in front of you, even though you know you're completely safe, your brain screams one thing: step back. For some people, this reaction is mild, but for others, it's overwhelming. They avoid balconies. They hate glass elevators. They feel uncomfortable near cliffs or tall staircases. This fear is so common that psychologists even gave it a name. It's called acrophobia, the fear of heights. But here's something interesting. People who fear heights are not weak. In fact, their brain might simply be working exactly the way it evolved to work. Because deep inside your brain, there is a system designed to protect you from one thing: falling. And today, we're going to explore the psychology behind why some people fear heights so strongly. Long before cities, skyscrapers, and bridges existed, humans lived in dangerous environments: cliffs, mountains, steep terrain. A single wrong step could mean death. So over thousands of years, the human brain developed a powerful safety system. Whenever your brain detects a possible fall, it triggers the fear response. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your body prepares for danger. This response is controlled by a part of your brain called the amygdala. The amygdala constantly scans your environment for threats, and when it senses a possible fall, it sends an urgent signal through your nervous system: move away from the edge. For many people, this reaction is mild, but for others, the signal becomes extremely strong. Their brain treats height as if it were immediate danger, even when they are perfectly safe. So their body reacts with intense anxiety. Not because they are irrational, but because their brain is overprotective. Fear of heights is not only psychological, it's also connected to something called your balance system. Inside your inner ear is a small but powerful structure called the vestibular system. This system helps your brain understand your position in space. It tells you, are you standing upright? Are you leaning? Are you falling? When you're standing on the ground, your brain receives stable signals. But when you're high above the ground, something strange happens. Your brain struggles to judge distance. Objects below appear smaller. Depth perception becomes harder. This confusion can create a feeling of instability. Your brain interprets this as a possible loss of balance. And when your brain thinks balance might fail, it activates fear. This is why some people feel dizzy when looking down from heights. Their brain temporarily struggles to process spatial information. So the safest option becomes simple: step away from the edge. Not everyone experiences height fear the same way. Some people can stand on a tall balcony without any anxiety. Others feel terrified just looking down a staircase. So why does this difference exist? Psychologists believe several factors play a role. One factor is past experience. If someone had a frightening experience involving height as a child, like falling from a tree or slipping on stairs, their brain may permanently associate height with danger. Another factor is genetics. Some people naturally have a more sensitive fear response. Their brain reacts more strongly to potential threats. But there is also something called visual dependence. This means some people rely heavily on visual cues to maintain balance. When they are high above the ground, those cues become less reliable, and this can create a strong feeling of instability, which then triggers fear. So fear of heights is not just one thing. It's a combination of biology, experience, and perception. Here's something surprising. Even people who are not afraid of heights sometimes experience a strange feeling when standing near an edge. For a brief moment, they might think, "What if I jumped?" This strange phenomenon is called the call of the void. Psychologists call it high place phenomenon. But this thought doesn't mean someone actually wants to jump. In reality, it's the brain's way of double-checking danger. Your brain quickly simulates risky possibilities. Then it reminds you, stay away from the edge. Ironically, this mechanism is actually a safety feature. But for people who already fear heights, this sudden thought can feel extremely disturbing. It reinforces the idea that something dangerous might happen, which increases anxiety even more. One interesting detail about fear of heights is looking down amplifies the fear. When you look straight ahead, your brain feels stable, but when you look down from a tall building, your brain suddenly sees a huge drop. The distance becomes visually overwhelming. Your brain immediately calculates the potential danger, and the bigger the drop appears, the stronger the fear response becomes. This is why people who fear heights often avoid looking down. They might hold the railing tightly or keep their eyes fixed forward. Without realizing it, they are using a natural coping strategy. They are reducing visual triggers that activate the fear system. Fear of heights doesn't stay in the mind. It spreads throughout the entire body. Many people experience physical symptoms such as rapid heartbeat, sweaty palms, shaking legs, dizziness, shortness of breath. These reactions happen because the body enters fight or flight mode. Your nervous system releases adrenaline. This hormone prepares your body to respond to danger. But when you're standing safely on a balcony, there is actually nothing to fight and nowhere to run. So all that adrenaline simply turns into anxiety, and the body feels overwhelmed. This is why someone with strong height fear might freeze in place. Their brain is trying to protect them, but it accidentally creates intense discomfort. The interesting thing about fear is that it can change over time. The brain learns from experience. If someone gradually exposes themselves to heights in safe situations, their brain slowly starts updating its beliefs. At first, the fear might be intense, but after repeated safe experiences, the brain realizes something important. Nothing bad happened. This process is known as exposure learning. Therapists often use it to help people reduce phobias. By slowly increasing exposure to the feared situation, the brain begins to weaken the fear response. This doesn't mean the fear disappears instantly, but over time, the brain learns that the situation is manageable, and the protective alarm becomes quieter. Fear of heights is one of the most natural fears humans have. It's deeply connected to survival. Your brain isn't trying to make life difficult, it's trying to keep you alive. For some people, that safety system simply becomes a little too sensitive, but understanding the psychology behind it can change how we see fear. Instead of thinking, something is wrong with me, you might realize something different. Your brain is simply doing what it has always done, protecting you from falling. And sometimes, the strongest fears come from the brain's strongest instinct, survival.